Early morning. Let's get started. So what is the biggest amateur swing fault? And you'll never fix it. So why is that then? You've trained the wrong patterns and your body has been programmed. If your motor skills in your hands, arms and wrists are trained to do this, then all these clever body-centric movements and drills, you know, the ones the elite players use, are not going to pull your hands, arms and wrists into position, no matter how hard you try. There are many swing patterns, but this is one I see a lot. On the way back, whipping it in on the inside, you're actually taking out the most important part of the golf swing, right there. I mean, I suppose if you're John Daly, then and John Rahm, will you lengthen your backswing? And Dustin Johnson, will you flatten that left wrist off, will you? Or you'll never get the ball into the air, son. I know we're all different, right? And yes, it's all got to match up. So swing direction, club face alignment and body movements. Then as a coach, you just don't mess with it. You throw that textbook away. And that's why I strongly believe that youngsters, they need the best coaches, you know, that can see what fits the child's makeup. And how to move forward with that in mind, you know, as they grow and develop, and not change everything because it's new. But if it doesn't match up, then whipping it on the inside to go steep on the way down is the inevitable pull hooking, slicing, topped heavy shots and the odd shank. Now this is what I see a lot at the amateur level. You know, this is one of my online students from America, Jake. You know, he's a good club player, he's sporty with great coordination, that can hit some great shots this way. But then this happens out of the blue. I mean, that pattern, that sequence could be an absolute killer. Now if you want, send me an email and I'll have a look at that swing of yours. And don't do this. And watch out, because 95% of the time, the root cause of this swing problem of yours is that you're aiming too far to the right, in swinging back left to react to get back to the target. Now, if your golf lesson doesn't start with a stance and alignment check, then you want to ask, why not? So you want to fix your swing, right? So you've got to flip everything over. Now the root cause lies in your hands, arms and wrists, and then you can gradually work your body into the movement. Yep, that's right, your hands, arms and wrists, and then the body. That's the secret, that's where it is, that all the best players in the world have perfected since being a kid. It's in your hands, the skill. So you've got to do the opposite. So instead of this, you've got to do this. Now, from wrong to perfect never works. You've got to do the opposite. You've got to shock your body. You've got to exaggerate it, especially from a feeling standpoint. You know, it's a vicious cycle. You need to break it. Now, firstly, with your feet together, to take the body out and isolate your hand, arm and wrist movements.
Held him back, but so far the short game has been wonderful.
64 yesterday, which matched.
Now the club head should be slightly outside of your hands at the halfway stage, just like all good players. Apart from John Daly. Now listen. If the club head is slightly too much on the inside, then don't beat yourself up about it. It's not that big of a deal as long as it's within a certain range. Now simply continue to turn and hinge up from there. Now on the way down, let the club head fall back behind your body into a flatter position with no pressure. Feel the weight of the club head fall back behind you. Now with light grip pressure and soft hands, and take your time to allow your body to soak up all of these new swing feelings. Now it's all about getting your own feel for it. You might feel a baseball swing in your downswing. Your palm of your right hand is up. Your left elbow is pointing out in front of you. Or you could use two clubs or a weighted head to feel the drop. You could place a basket between you and the ball and swing outside of the basket and inside of the basket. Now you could swing between the baskets. Now if you don't know how this works, just check out one of my other videos. Now if you hit one of the baskets, then you're still swinging left and getting steep on it.
Cause so many times pass by, don't know why I'm losing my mind. Ego was so strong inside. At this point I just live the lie, I just live the lie.
Now to correct this, try hitting balls straight right. Aim 30 meters left or 30 yards left and swing out to the right, out towards the flag. And what's the red flashing light? That's right, don't hit the basket. Now whatever rocks your boat, and whatever it takes for you to exaggerate it. And I'm just trying to give you a feeling here, but don't say, oh, Lee said swing it like a baseball bat. That's not what it's all about. It's about you finding your own feeling. And don't pull down. I mean, if I was you, you just don't want to be pulling down. And I know there's many coaches out there, and even the likes of Sergio Garcia, he advocates you should pull down on a chain from the top.
The beginning of the downswing, it's important to pull down with the club. It's important that you do it with your arms, not with your body.
Now don't get me wrong, this is great for a golfer with an aggressive lower body that kicks back the hands and arms and wrists into a flat position on the way down, often getting stuck through impact and snap hooking it. See, there's the alarm, fire alarm. We're on fire. Your swing's on fire. So pulling down with the hands and arms on the way down will naturally steepen the club shaft, matching everything up perfectly for Sergio Garcia. But not for you. That's what he forgot to mention. That's not why you're here. If you're already steep and you pull down from the top, then you'll dig a hole big enough to plant a rose in. Don't worry, I'm putting it back. Nobody would even know. So don't pull. So that's the message here. Don't be pulling anything. Okay, allow the club head to drop behind you and resist the temptation to grab or hit from the top. Then try and hit some balls this way with your feet together, nice and easy, just at about 40%. Now you're going to have to practice. Practice? You're joking, right? No, it didn't work, did it? Did you practice longer than 10 minutes? No. Now get your hands out your pockets, will you? And stop playing with your balls. You know, little and often. In the garden, in the office, or whatever. I'm watching you. You know what I'm getting at, you know what I'm trying to say, don't you? Now it's just like anything else. With any new movement.
Oh, Ruby, you're right.
As soon as you start to coordinate things, then you can gradually start to pick up the speed. Now as your confidence grows, you can start to gradually build in your body movements. Now keep it nice and simple. Right foot, left foot, and see how your body automatically and naturally turns and moves. But you want to be more dynamic, don't you? I can feel it, I can sense it. But you've got to correctly sequence things. Body, arm, hand, body, arm, hand, body, arm, hand, body, arm, hand. Now I believe the best way to do it is to strip it all back, put your feet together and get a feeling for the movements. And then and only then can you start to integrate the correct body movements. I know, top coaches, won't mention any names, David Ledbetter, promote that the dog wags the tail and the tail doesn't wag the dog. But an amateur club golfer is wagging nothing like that. Now I'm not saying that body-centric movements and drills don't have a place. Yes, they do. They come right at the very end to gain distance control, to take a little bit of speed out as you gradually refine and fine-tune things. Can you imagine? No, I don't want that drive. It's gone too far. It's gone too far. Now elite players have already trained their hands. You know, and they've done it from being a kid. And no disrespect, you probably haven't. And that's why you can't fix it. It's all back to front. And I know, you're desperate. You're desperate to throw your hips in, aren't you? And what about this? It's new.
I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe.